Going to ChatGPT instead of God is such a folly, and I've fallen in this trap before. Last night, we were driving to West Virginia. Here we are, West Virginia, guys. You can just drive around the country. You don't even need any money. I didn't eat any food yesterday because I was fasting because I don't have money for food, but that's okay. First of all, my belly looks fucking amazing. Cheat code. But also, you can just drive around the country and be inspired and see amazing, beautiful things. And you don't need a whole bunch of money to make it happen. You can just freaking do it. Freaking do it. But last night I was in the van. Let's see, I got very little sleep 2 nights ago because of some situations that I had to help fix, which is totally fine. But then I slept in the van for a little bit and I woke up, and around 4 or 5 p.m. I was cranky as fuck. Super tired. Super just like out of it and trying to go. I don't like being cranky. I was trying to get back to a happy, peaceful, calm state. And I pulled my notebook out. I had my notebook sitting on my lap, but I didn't feel like journaling. I was like kind of resisting starting journaling. So I was sitting there trying to figure out what I could do. And I opened up ChatGPT on my phone, and I was about to ask a question to ChatGPT. And then it hit me. I said to myself, why am I going to ChatGPT when I should be going to God? And at that moment, I set my phone down. I wrote down on my notebook, going to ChatGPT instead of going to God, as a potential title idea. And I was able to sit there and I just sat and I looked out the front windshield and I watched the van go down the highway. And I focused on just being present, being in the moment, being still. And I realized that actually watching the van go down the highway, watching the traffic zip in and out, watching the van kind of go on big turns on exit ramps and stuff is triggers fight or flight, right? It triggers anxiety. I realized that when cars were zipping around real fast, it would make my heart race. So wow, like this is not an awareness I did not have about my body, that now that I can just by being present and being still, I could feel that, and then I could say, no, I know I'm actually safe. This is a safe place. I can slow down. I can breathe. I can relax. I can see the trees on the side of the highway. Look at those beauties. It's beautiful. It's just a neighborhood. By the way, if you live in a neighborhood, there are beautiful trees right next to you that you're not looking at. You can come be still with the trees, right? Look at this. Wow. Even looking at the trees through my phone behind me is beautiful too. If you're going to ChatGPT instead of going to God, I think you're gonna develop some narcissism. I think you're gonna actually not get the answers you want. ChatGPT will tell you exactly what you want, but there's a spiritual component that's completely missing. It's just a narcissist machine. And I say this as somebody who has used it, and I'm not saying it's all bad. Like this is a thing people get stuck into, is they get dogmatic, right? It's like ChatGPT is either the tool that saved your life or it's literally the devil. And I think it's somewhere in between. I think it can be useful. I've gotten useful information out of ChatGPT, but what I realized is when I was feeling spiritually unsettled and I wanted to go to ChatGPT, I realized that was the trap. It's like, no. When you're restless, when you're anxious, when your heart is unsettled, when you're not feeling properly embodied in your body, go to God. And what's crazy is going to God is easy. It's free. You don't need a cell phone. In fact, it's better without a cell phone. All you have to do is sit and be present. Wow. I talk about nature a lot in my videos because nature is a shortcut to God. Something my boy Brett intuitively understands. Just look at some trees and breathe and relax. These are just creation expressing itself, right? Trees are, nature is. It's just creative energy just exploding out of the ground. And it's a reminder that we are creative energy embodied into flesh. And after I calmed down, like after last night when I had that realization to go to God, I was inspired. I wrote down 10 other video title ideas, which I'll use in future videos. And then it got dark enough that I couldn't even see my notebook anymore. And I kind of laughed at myself because I felt like God was even trying to make the point to me, like, yes, the notebook helps. Yes, writing out the title helps. Yes, doing something that feels productive does help calm me down. But also just being calm, just calming my spirit for the sake of calming my spirit, just being present to calm my spirit is powerful and important. And sure enough, after that, I moved and I sat up next to Austin, and Brett and Abby were in the front and they were singing a bunch. And then me, Austin, Destiny, Tom, the whole band started singing, making crazy noises, just like being outrageously silly and fun. And it was all because, well, not all, and like I was able to enjoy it. I was able to contribute to it because I focused on being still. You know, I almost died in the canyon a couple weeks ago, and the biggest thing it taught me is how often I'm in fight or flight, how often I'm filled with anxiety. And that, again, it's not bad. Anxiety isn't necessarily bad. Being in fight or flight isn't necessarily bad. Those are signals to change things. But sometimes I think people can exist perpetually with a level of anxiety that's not needed. You know, for me, I think a lot of times that has helped me learn how to work hard, how to go into overdrive. You know, I think the reason I'm so good at piano is that I have spent so much time practicing and so much time I lost my train of thought. I got a text message. One of the reasons I'm so good at piano is because of that feeling of literally waking up and saying, oh shit, I am not good enough at piano. And if I don't practice, bad things are going to happen. Granted, I think that second half, the bad things are going to happen, is kind of something to let go. But my life is my life, and I made it here how I made it here. And I think that I'm realizing that there is a real power in being able to be present and not worry about anything bad happening, and recognizing that you can just be still, and that there's actually a lot of magic that comes in being still. You know, I realized this about 2 years ago, but I'm learning it deeper and deeper, is the trees aren't going anywhere. They don't care about who's president. They don't care about elections. They don't care about taxes or running a business. They don't care about anything we care about. They just exist. Look at this huge wall of trees up here. Bam. So cool. So really freaking cool. The trees are really cool. Yeah, stillness is powerful. I walk in nature, it helps me be still. And when I'm still in nature is when I come up with some of my most amazing ideas. You can come up with ideas in action. You can also come up with them in deliberate stillness. And deliberate stillness is where a lot of honesty and openness can pour out of your heart. So if you're looking for answers, probably looking in your phone. Maybe you're looking on ChatGPT or YouTube or Instagram or Facebook. Maybe you're watching this video for answers, and I don't have the answers. YouTube does not have the answers. There's no answers here. The answer might lie in checking in with yourself and saying, how fast is my internal soul spinning? Is my heart beating like crazy? Is my mind literally flooded with chemicals that are telling me I have to run? If everything's in motion, if everything's crazy, if you're spun out, breathe, sit, talk to God. Breathe, sit, talk to God. Talking to God can feel really weird, but it can just be a feeling towards the heavens. It can just be, this is good. Life is good. I'm so freaking grateful that I get to drive around the country and make music with my homies, with my best buds. We're gonna play in Virginia tonight and then drive to Nashville and play in Nashville tomorrow. So sick. Get to, play in 2 different states, 2 different cities, basically back to back. It's really a beautiful gift, and we get to make amazing music and share our gifts. I get to see my parents tonight. so cool on so many different levels. So, yeah. Be still. ChatGPT won't inspire stillness. Actually, it's kind of funny because notice, like, when you ask ChatGPT a question, it'll give you a lot of stuff, and then it'll kind of also give you an answer where it's like, would you like for me to make a 28-day plan for you to blah, 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 blah. And it kind of gives you an answer and then immediately pushes you into action, pushes you kind of into continuing the conversation too. And yeah, maybe when your anxiety is, I don't feel like I have enough money, you know, a lot of YouTube will tell you, well, that's when you crank it out. You send 100 cold DMs for your business. What's your top of your funnel? Do you have a landing page? Da, 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 da. Not saying any of that stuff is bad to have, because that stuff can help you make money, but also sitting and saying, what do I need money for? God, where do I feel like a lack of blessing in my life? You might just realize that you actually are blessed and you don't need what you thought you need. Or God might inspire you with a song, or he might just tell you, oh yeah, just play piano, just sing, just write a song, just take a walk, just call your mom, just call your dad, just, you know, do something simple. And sometimes the answer is really simple, and ChatGPT is not going to give you a simple answer. It's going to give you, wow, this is a great view. ChatGPT is going to give you a convoluted mess of an answer, which might be useful. I'm not saying it's bad. ChatGPT helped me make the Shopify store a lot better. It's helped me understand marketing. It's helped me with a lot of things, but it's also not God. And I think that's what, when people are scared, they're scared that people are using ChatGPT like God. And I think that we should use God like God, and I think most of us never do. And maybe it's time to start. It's time to start, if you are feeling anxious, to sit with the anxiety and just close your eyes, put your hands on your lap, and go, okay, I feel anxious. What does God want me to do with this emotion? All right, guys, don't die. Love you. Bye.